This is going to be a fun one here. Your Indianapolis Colts, the team that really has your heart. I know you. They're traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it was since week 4. Aaron Rodgers has like an 82.9 PFF passing grade. Like he's been playing really, really well. It was tough to start the year. The average of the target was low. He wasn't really being asked to do a lot. There weren't a lot of difficult throws. He was sometimes putting it into harm's way. But man, really since week 4, he's been playing well. And Shane Steichen even said earlier this week, he's like, November and December are where our season really begins. Like, yeah, okay, their record is fantastic so far, but even Shane Steichen is like, this is where the teeth of the schedule actually starts to show up here. So who do you want to talk about in this one? Do you want to talk about the Steelers or do you want to talk about the Colts?
Let's go with this Colts run game, and so much of the talk is centered around Jonathan Taylor and MVP talk. And Trevor, I'm going to have more in a film breakdown on this that's coming tomorrow. I broke down some elements of this Colts run game that's working because it's so productive, they're so talented, and it's incredibly diverse. I mentioned before about the Denver Broncos being one of 4 teams that doesn't run any single run concept at least 20% of the time. The Colts are another one of those 4 teams, and I think it's no coincidence. It's the Broncos, Colts, Chargers, and Cardinals. 3 of those 4 teams are squarely in playoff position, so you have that level of diversity in your run game. That helps you a lot, but then you look at just the production that Quentin Nelson and this offensive line is giving them right now. 2nd in the league in run blocking grade, 10th in impact run block percentage, which is the percentage of plays you get a positive grade as a run blocking unit. 2nd best defeated run block percentage, which is the percentage of negatively graded plays you have as run blockers, so they're not screwing anything up either. And then I think my favorite thing here in talking about the diversity of this run game, they're 2nd in zone run blocking grade as a team. They're 4th in gap scheme run blocking grade as a team. They can hit you with inside zone, outside zone. They can pull Quentin Nelson wherever they want. Trevor, I'm telling you, if you haven't sat down and watched the tape this year of Tanner Bortolini, their center, man, oh man, he might be the most underrated player in football right now. He has become an outstanding football player. The tackles, all 5 guys across this offensive line are just awesome. And you've got a primetime matchup both in the run game and in the passing game with TJ Watt and this defensive line. But in the run game, the Steelers have really struggled up front all year. And if the Colts get in their rhythm with Jonathan Taylor first and foremost, and they don't ask Daniel Jones to win battles on 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 against this pass rush, you have to really like that the Colts could go in here against what is supposed to be a really good defense with a bunch of big names on it, what's supposed to be a great defense. But the Colts are the most efficient offense in football. It starts with the run game, and then it works to Daniel Jones and Tyler Warren, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, all those guys on the outside.
Yeah, that really is, I think, the matchup to look for, because if the Colts are able to run the ball the way that they want to, I think they'll be able to control this game enough and they'll be able to get out of Pittsburgh with a victory. But if they can't, if they're not as dominant on the ground as they have been throughout the first half of this season, that then opens the door in a big way, in my opinion, because where you boast about the Colts run blocking, and deservedly so, because you mentioned they're ass kickers and they're playing very, very well, the Colts have just a 62.8 team pass blocking grade if you take out their 2 games against the Tennessee Titans, which the Titans are so bad this season, I almost feel the need that I have to do that, especially for a team that has played the Tennessee Titans twice. So if you take those 2 Titans games out, they have just a 62.8 team pass blocking grade, and their pressure percentage, the amount of pressures that they have allowed, is just 15th. So where this is a very dominant offensive line in the run game, they're sort of just middle of the pack in the NFL, and that's against a pretty soft schedule that they have faced so far when it comes to their pass protection. The Steelers, they are top 5, if not top 10, in PFF team passing grade, in pressure percentage, in total sacks. They don't have the total pressures to be top 10, but they're close to that mark. This is one of the best defensive lines and one of the best pressure producing units in the NFL. And so if the Colts don't have that advantage on the ground like they have had for most of their matchups this year, that's when I think things get really interesting. And I actually kind of believe that that could be the case here. What I think is an X factor for the Steelers offense is Roman Wilson. When you look at Roman Wilson since week 4, they've gotten him more involved in the offense, 71.7 receiving grade, but they're still not involving him a ton. He has just 7 catches on 8 targets for 103 yards, 1 touchdown, and 5 first downs during that time. I think they need to ramp him up in this offense more. They've got to be able to have somebody at the receiver position, not named DK Metcalf, make a difference for them. They've got tight ends that they can get involved. They've got running backs they can get involved, but Roman Wilson has to be more of a player in this offense, in my opinion. He has to gain the faith and the trust of Aaron Rodgers more, and I think this could be a big game towards doing that. I think this game is really close, but ultimately, for what the Colts have been through the first 8 weeks of this season, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt here. I'm going to say Colts 21, Steelers 20, a true coward's prediction here. Dalton, what do you got?
I have the Colts also 27-24, and I think the big thing is that the run game travels, right? If Jonathan Taylor has another big day and Daniel Jones is able to get rid of the football quickly, which he generally has been doing this year, I think the Colts' offensive advantages really play into their strengths as a two-dimensional team, right? Whereas I think the Steelers, I'm still worried about their ability to run the football. I'm a little worried about these offensive tackles against Leatu Latu, who's been running hot lately, and even on the inside, you've got DeForest Buckner, who's still one of the best D tackles in the league. If Rodgers can get rid of the football quickly and vertically like he's been doing lately, it could be a big day for DK Metcalf, but I trust the Colts to be two-dimensional just a little bit more than Pittsburgh. I like Jonathan Taylor. I think that's where the base of this win comes from, as it's been coming so many weeks, along with Daniel Jones being so efficient. Colts 27, Steelers 24.